Welcome everyone, I'm Being Well Damien, aka Damien.
And I'm Being Well Lauren, aka Lauren.
Nailed it. And this is something a little bit different from us. This is a collaboration between our new podcast, Being Well Travel Journals, which is linked to our company, which we're going to talk about in more detail, and also my podcast, Being Well Wisdom. So whichever channel you're listening on, thank you very much. We appreciate you being here. By virtue of the fact that we're both here, we've started a new podcast. You can expect insights, travel trends, tips for creating your perfect journey. However, this episode is actually focused on us.
Whoop.
Why we founded the business, how do we do it whilst living in a mad house, working full time. We want you to get to know us and be a bit more, hopefully, comfortable with us, because we really value getting to know you when we're booking your trips. So, and not in a weird way. Anyways, moving on. So we should start with an introduction of us, and I should let the lady go first.
Yep. Okay. So, hey guys, aka Lauren here. Or Being Well Lauren. So I turned 30 this year. Got 2 kids, Daisy and Lex, 2 fur babies, Winnie and Wilma. So pretty hectic household. Career-wise, a little bit about my career background. So I started off in customer service. Actually, I started off in Toys R Us, where I met Damien 13 years ago.
Where dreams are made.
Well, so I work just now as a proposition analyst. And I mean, anytime somebody asks me what I do, well, actually, now I just say that I own my own travel company, but we'll get to that. But a proposition analyst, basically, in a nutshell, what I do is I look at the customer's needs and wants and the business needs and wants, come up with a solution that will really make a difference. So that's what I do just now.
What are the chances of that?
I know. It's like we then came up with a company that does that. Always had a passion for customer service. Love putting myself in the customer's shoes. And I like to think I'm a very good problem solver as well. So again, all those skills lead me into being well travel. In terms of hobbies, I love running. Anyone that I speak to will know that because all I talk about is running. Travel, again, that's all I talk about is travel and spending time with the fam. So yeah, that's me. Being well Lauren.
Okay, no pressure, then I should go. And we're doing ages as well. I am 34.
No way.
Yes. Father of 2, fiance of 1. Also parent of dogs. Career background, left school with not a lot of education, went straight into retail management, worked in retail management for many years. So I've been a manager since I was 18. And yeah, and now I work in kind of comms and change and project management for the world's largest fashion brand. So I'll leave that up to your imagination. I've been super lucky to travel the world over the years for both business and pleasure. Yeah, I think that's all I want to say kind of career-wise. And then when it comes to kind of, hobbies and stuff like that, I think a bit like you said, I mean, the obvious ones are, running, just being well. Like that's the chat. Like we'll come on to why we created the business, but I mean, we just try and be as well as we can.
That's our life.
And I mean, when it comes to other hobbies, I think that, we obviously spend a hell of a lot of time with the kids. I like reading. I like silence.
You don't get a lot of silence in this house.
But yeah, I mean, let's crack on. I don't want to labor on it too much. But yeah, I mean, I think we've both got a passion for travel. We've both got a passion for finding solutions. Hence,
delivering right outcomes.
Hence why we are where we are today. So first part of the pod, we're going to take a dive into the story that led to the conception of Being Well Travel Company, a bit about our vision, and also a bit about how we work together and stuff like that. So let's see. So when we talk about the founding story and vision, sounds very profound, of Being Well Travel Company. Why did we start Being Well? And we probably should say that we both prepared individually, so we don't know what each other are going to say. So this could be carnage or gold.
Let's just see.
Yeah. So why did we start Being Well? Being Well, Lauren?
So from my point of view, so we've both got a passion for travel.
Yeah.
We now have 2 kids. So
yes,
pre-kids, travel is very different to what...
Travel has changed significantly.
Yeah, 100%. Not in a bad way. It's just different. I think a lot of people perceive having kids, you can't travel, blah, blah, blah. But you absolutely can. And we can show you that through Being Well Travel. However, why we started it. So for me, it kind of shone to light when we went to, I'll just use this as an example, as Kos. So we went to Kos. We spent thousands of pounds to go to Kos.
Yeah.
And the kids' pool wasn't heated. It was freezing.
Yeah.
It was October as well, so the weather was it was nice, but it was very cold.
It wasn't a cold plunge thing either. It was freezing cold.
It was freezing cold. Bless Daisy, she went in it.
Yeah.
She made the best. But it's things like that. So that was just that was one of our non-negotiables that we just thought, oh, it's fine, we'll just go on this holiday. When we shouldn't have had to do that. We should have been able to go somewhere and say, right, we want this, and that. Please find us a holiday.
Yeah.
But we couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's one of the reasons that we came up with Being Well. But that was the kind of first thing that came to mind was it goes back to the customer's needs and wants. So what is it that you want and what are your needs? What are your non-negotiables? Tell us and we'll find that for you.
I think that was quite stark for us, wasn't it? That was like, we'd gone from one of the most expensive cocktail bills on a Bahamas cruise that I could possibly ever imagine.
And can't remember the cruise.
Can't remember the cruise or the Bahamas. But then going to spending, similar amounts of money to go to like a really nice all-inclusive.
Oh, lovely, yeah.
But it fell short of our needs, and then it was kind of like, how can this be possible? But no, I agree. I think I noted down our pre-kid travel. I've been really fortunate to go to Belize, Guatemala. We've both been to America quite a lot. Pre-kids, like just pre our first child, we've done like Bali, Taiwan, Hong Kong. So we've always been like, that's always been a thing, and we've always really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So then to then experience travel in a different way and think, oh, this is not. It's great. It was great. It's great spending time with the kids, no matter when you do it. But to spend that amount and go somewhere and think, oh,
a fundamental.
Exactly.
That's just a small example.
When you're just drinking cocktails all the time, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, if the pool's cold, then maybe it wakes you up a bit. Or whatever. But so I think kind of there's a parallel with us, our lives changing, and there being a new spin on our lives, and our shift to really focusing on like being well ourselves. And I think that parallel came together in a really nice way that led to the conception of, actually, maybe we can solve this somehow for ourselves, but then perhaps for others as well. And we also, we were talking about this the other day, but we also like really enjoy researching stuff.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, I've got thousands and thousands and thousands of views on TripAdvisor. I'm like one of those guys. But I love spending time on TripAdvisor. So even if, like in the past, obviously we never got paid for helping people out or whatever. Like I had a colleague that was coming over from America. Was it last year or the year before we started Being Well? And I spent hours like sending him the best things in Scotland, and so that's always been a passion for us. So yeah, I guess two worlds met, and then we started to come up with, maybe we could fix that.
And probably just to add on to that as well, is we might get into this later on, but our lifestyle has significantly changed the past maybe year and a half.
Yeah.
Where our health is now our main priority, And if you've listened to Damien's, so I just called you Daisy. If you've listened to Damien's podcast on Being Well Wisdom, he talks about memento mori, and that I think we kind of live our lives now around that, which I think's the right way to live. And that very much meant what kind of came into our travel as well, is when we're going to a hotel, like, what do we want? Do we want a gym? We want to be able to have some running routes, possibly a kids club. So again, we can go and do that. And I think that came into it too, because we have so many needs and wants, but again, there was nowhere.
No,
there was nowhere to go.
And I also think I hope we aren't high maintenance. So
no, I don't think we are.
But I think it's you, and I think when we started to look into it, and this is a bit going on to what we wanted to talk about next, anyways, and the like, what problem are we trying to solve? I think that when we started to look at either by providers, so other companies that are out there that provide this kind of thing, or on our own, it was just super expensive. So it was like you were almost getting penalized for having basic needs and wants. But if you looked really hard, you could find it. Or if not, if you went to like a purpose-built wellness holiday type thing, or you paid, in my opinion, through the nose for something that you shouldn't have to pay through the nose for like absolute basics. You know, like my old coach and I always laugh about like hotel gyms. Like, you know, you can go and stay in some of the most beautiful hotels in the world, and the gym's like a back room. You know. So but what would you say then? We've said that we talked about like passions. There was a passion there. So when it comes to starting a business, I think we both would only ever start a business based on something that we're super passionate about. 100%. So I think that box was always ticked. But then when it came to like why, what problem were you trying to solve? For you, what did that look like?
So the main problem I think trying to solve was that, I think I've kind of touched on it, but it's I'm going to say again, it's needs and wants of the customer, but also, I don't know about you or the listeners, hopefully we get some, but coming back from a holiday and actually feeling well rested.
Yeah.
Not coming back from a holiday and being like, oh, I need to go on a diet because I've had to consume an all-inclusive buffet that was just beige after beige after beige.
Yeah.
Like, it's coming back from a holiday, being well rested, feeling good in your mind, body and soul.
Yeah.
Might sound cliche, but that's what you want from a holiday. You don't want to go and spend thousands of pounds, come back, and you're like, oh.
I think you just want options, though. But you know what it is? Like, I think we've talked about this before. Like, I want to go somewhere that I can get really good food, and I can treat myself as well.
Yeah.
In moderation. Do you know, like, I was talking about this with a friend that's going away with us soon. I can't remember when exactly. This is that's your domain. They're going to go and smash the gym every morning, so that when they drink cocktails all day, because that's what they like to do. They have no kids yet. That's what they like to do. Then they're buying themselves that almost. Yeah. I think you just want to have access. Yeah. And I think that for me it was about, I want to be able to promote that you don't need to pay over the odds for it, and that it can be easy access, because that's what we struggled with.
Yeah.
I think those are two big things for me, is that, like, I want to be a proponent of more people being well, and if we can combine our interests and like hobby, if you like, with that and start a business,
happy days.
Win-win.
Yeah.
Because you know what it's like, sometimes when we're choosing daily offers and stuff, you're like, oh, look at this. Yeah. I mean, it's exciting, even though that, you know, there's a high likelihood when we put out, you know, I don't know how many offers a week, but like 15 offers a week, we might never go to that place or that hotel, but we still get really excited about it. I think promotion and ease of access was a big thing for me, and I guess, value a bit as well, in the sense that, and this again is maybe going a bit into the next thing that we want to talk about, which is, what was our biggest challenges we faced when starting the company. But I think from a value perspective, a lot of the providers that you see out there providing holidays right now are working with like one supplier.
Yeah.
So we'll not name them,
No.
but the biggest one, if you check out our Saturday offer, they usually feature, and we show that we provide much more value than they do.
Yeah.
Even though they've got soaring profits, but whatever. I think value is definitely a thing where we can prove that you can get access to those things without it being a 20 grand yoga retreat. You can get access to the things that you want. So, good. What was the biggest challenge you faced when starting the company?
No.
It's funny because that's exactly what I wrote down was being well, Lauren.
I wrote AKA Damien. No, I think so. Choosing the right partner was a big thing for us.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of great independent travel agents out there.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you tell somebody what you're starting to do, and they're like, "Oh, I know somebody that does that," which is great. But I think we're trying to do something different in this by doing the whole podcast, and there are bits and bobs.
We're trying to build a brand.
We're trying to build a brand, and we hope that comes across. But I think one of the big challenges we faced was choosing the right choosing the right partner, that has the same kind of values that we have.
Yeah.
Because don't get me wrong, there's a lot of partners and brands out there that you could go to.
Yeah.
But that was a challenge, and I think we spent a lot of time doing it. I mean, I think, what did we spend a whole 12 hours doing, coming up with like a business plan of who we were going to go with, and we wrote down the pros and cons of each and what their values, what our values were, what our brand was going to be. So
attended seminars, attended with different companies.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it wasn't an easy decision, but we've 100% made the right decision. But that was definitely, I think for me, that was our number one challenge, was coming up with choosing the right.
I agree. I think that that decision was huge for us, and even when we identified that this was the company that we wanted to start, that took us a long time because we wanted to. It was important for us, so that everything that we've described before now, we needed to find a partner that enabled us to do that. And actually, there aren't that many of them. There are many fantastic partners for the other things that you mentioned there, but for us to be able to have access to the breadth of things that we need to have access to, we found out that actually, not everyone did that, even if they maybe said that they did. So we went with a company, the largest independent retailer in the UK, award-winning. So that gives us access to over 400 different suppliers of like anything.
Yeah.
The big guns, so like Emirates, Corny, all those kind of things, and maybe something a bit more niche, like walking holidays or skiing or solo travel. I mean, we've got the full breadth, and not only have we got the full breadth, we've probably got 10 of each. So yes, I would agree. I think that was a huge challenge for us. And the other thing that you touched on it a bit with values, I think, but I think it was important for me to make sure that we got like ABTA, ATOL, really good training, really good systems. So like the
support.
Yeah, exactly. So like the back end, so that not only we knew we had a good business idea, or we hope we've had a good business idea. We knew that we believed that we're the right people to deliver it, but if we got that wrong, we couldn't provide what our customers needed. We couldn't protect our customers in times of need. Like that was a fundamental issue. So making sure that we were ATOL protected, which we are, making sure that the training that you had access to primarily, but I'll maybe take one day, from a systems perspective, that was super important.
Yeah.
And I think that was the, I don't know if we'd like numbering these, but I would say was my second most important thing.
Yeah.
Which I was really glad that we were able to nail.
And I think we have.
Did you have any others?
Nope.
I've got some more.
Oh, of course you have.
That wasn't very nice. So I would say, like, let's just say like cash.
Okay, yeah. If I'm
like
being honest, yeah.
Yeah, like, it's not a charity.
No.
So there's initial like outlays to starting a company like this, especially when you want to start a company where you get ABTA and ATOL protection for your customers, and you get one of the best trainings out there, and you get access to 400 suppliers as opposed to one supplier.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a cost.
100%.
So there was that. And I also think actually being really honest and maybe like dialing this back as to maybe not being just about being well, but being like a startup conversation. How much time did I spend from a legal perspective?
Oh, yeah. And time and money on legal. Yeah. And a lot of people just think, oh, they've just started. They just wanted to do it, so they just signed a bit of paper and did it. But no way. Like, the amount of research that went in, lawyers, franchisee lawyers, like checking agreements, making sure that we're not signing our house away. But yeah, it was a lot of time and effort before we even signed the dotted line.
And also making sure that the companies that we were signing up to partner to were going to deliver for our customers.
100%,
that was the other thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, but no, I think aside from you and I, when it comes to challenges, I think those were the biggest. However, what I will say is, I now don't think about them.
No, and I think if we're being honest and personal as we want to be, I think actually just having a family and having a full-time job whilst building a business is also one of our challenges as well. But I think we face into that pretty well, and that probably brings us nicely to our next kind of.
Are you taking over hosting duties?
Sorry.
That was like you were stepping right into hosting duties.
Was it?
That was quite impressive. Yeah.
Thanks.
So we wanted to take it a bit more, like a level inside our lives a bit, in terms of like, what does a daily operation look like?
Well, to be fair, a lot of people say to us, how have you got the time to do these things?
Yeah. I mean, but let's get on to it. So a typical day for the two of us. What does a typical day look like? What does a typical day look like for you?
A typical day?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Well, I mean, if you want, I can go, because my day's fairly regimented.
Well, you go first.
Yeah, I mean, this is... We fill different roles, I would say, in the family setting, in that I don't deal very well with chaos or anything. I can deal with crisis really well, but like just chaos in general, I'm quite like a regimented person. So I'm up between 4:30, 4:45, cold plunge, some kind of exercise, run or strength training. In recent weeks, it's like that's also involved a bit of, either podcasting, recording something, editing something before the kids get up, some journaling. If you follow us on our socials, you'll see that I always post morning pages or like morning reading. So I tend to read the headlines across the travel industry at that time as well, and send Lauren things for when she eventually gets out of bed.
15 minutes later, anyway, okay.
Sharing of posts. Yeah, and I actually maybe do a little bit of like my actual work at that time as well. So like in my full-time career, I'll respond to some emails and stuff at that time in the morning, just to clear the decks a bit before the kids get up.
Yeah.
Really. And then the kids get up.
Yeah.
And then you get up as well.
No, I don't.
No, but do you want to do your...
My morning routine.
Yeah.
So,
Morning routine's really cliche.
how?
What? It's like a thing.
Is it? Okay.
It's like, oh, hey guys, here's my morning routine.
Okay, here's my morning routine.
You can do it if you want. I wouldn't do it on Being Well Wisdom podcast, but you can do it.
So I get up at 5, 15 minutes after Damien, may I add.
Lion.
Pardon?
Lion.
I wish.
By the way, you've always got up. No, to be fair, you've always got up at 5, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, where are you going with this?
Because you've just started cold plunge.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I get up at 5, and I go in the cold plunge for, actually, this morning I've done it for 5 minutes, which I'm...
What's your streak now? How many days?
7 days.
That's good.
Damien says that I was... Sorry, this is a very side note, but Damien said I was scared to go in the cold plunge. And I'm not scared to go in the cold plunge. I've proved that to him because now I went in 7 days in a row.
Yeah, when did I say that?
7 days ago.
How many days have you been in a row?
7 days.
Yeah.
So anyway, I get up at 5, I go in the cold plunge, and I come out and I do my journal. So I do my journal every morning and every night. And then I go upstairs, have a shower, then come back down the stairs, and I do my mobility and stretching exercises. Occasionally, once or twice a week, I do Pilates. Then the kids get up.
I think you've missed a step.
Have I? What have I? Clothes.
No, I don't want you full like. Then I brush my teeth.
No, don't do that until before I take Daisy to school.
Right, sorry. That's we'll wait for that then.
Yeah.
The audience.
Not missed a step.
The audience will be buzzing. No, I actually think you. I don't know when you do it because I'm obviously out pumping iron, but you quite often do what being.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
So if we've had inquiries come in the day before, you might be sending out quotes and stuff, or
so after I've done,
like I said, I don't know when you do it. I just see things popping up on my phone.
Yeah, all the messages.
Yeah,
because Damien is in my messages as well. No, so after I've been in the shower and got
in by.
Yeah, that came out. Yeah.
I mean, we've got a shared Being Well inbox because we run a company together. But I'm not in your messages.
No, so after I've had a shower and got dressed, etc., you don't need to know the details. I'll come downstairs and I'll log on, and I literally just sit at the kitchen table doing bits and bobs until Daisy gets up, or I hear Lex clicking the buttons next to his clock because he clicks the light socket. And I'll also log on to my actual work as well, so that I'm all logged on before the chaos arrives downstairs.
Yeah.
That's my morning routine.
Then the kids get up. And then it's chaos.
And then you do breakfast, smoothies.
Yeah.
The way you go. Then I take Lex to nursery, which is a drive away. Then I come back. I'll work of my actual job 9 till 5. And then I take Daisy to school and walk the dogs at the same time.
Yeah.
You just sit in the house and chill?
I'm just chilling at this point.
Yeah.
I literally, this is when I watch Netflix. No, but I think we're drilled, right, in our morning routines. And actually, when I reflect back onto our 12 years together. 13 years together. Is it 13?
Yes.
It's my lucky number as well.
I think. Maybe it's 12. It doesn't matter.
I think I thought it was 13 this year, and you were like, no, it's 12.
Okay,
so
12.
Even now that I'm saying 12, you're now giving me grief.
Sorry.
12. Can I continue? Or?
Mm-hmm.
But I can't remember what I was saying now because I just took my throat. No, I think that I actually think that we share the burden. Burden's the wrong word. I think
it's not a burden, no.
I think that we're super dialed in now. And when I reflect back on our 13 years together, we had so much time before that we didn't really act on. And now, in the morning specifically, every morning is just dialed into the max.
Yep.
And we do get up really early. However, this is what it takes, I think.
Yeah. I would agree.
Good. But then we work and we do our kind of day jobs. Once that's done, I would say that we do like relatively normal stuff.
Yeah, go and get the kids from school,
Yeah.
nursery, have dinner, spend time with them.
Yeah.
Then go and walk.
Daisy's got stuff. She's got less on now, BJJ, swimming.
BJJ is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, for people who don't know what BJJ is.
All right. Is that a thing?
Yeah, people don't know what that is. When I tell them, they look at me like...
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would say that, and then kind of evenings, I would say that, like when you reflect on it, I go to bed at 6:15. No, I do go to bed early.
You do.
Why are you judging me?
Because, no, you don't. No, you do go to bed early, but then once Lex is in bed, Daisy's in bed, I go out and walk the dogs. And then I come home, then I do some being well work, so I answer customer inquiries, quotes, etc. Because the thing is, we can only do that very early in the morning or very late at night because we have our full-time jobs, which is fine. That's the way we chose to do it.
This is what I was going to get to. I didn't realise you were going to judge me for going to bed really early, but the evenings then consist of being well work for our customers.
Yeah. Also run 4 times a week, but I'm not quite sure how I fit that in, but
we do.
We move.
Yeah, but I think it's, like I say, and then when you're doing being well work at night, like the being well work that I do at night tends to be like finding...
Oh yeah, we do our offers every night as well.
Yeah, exactly. In that, for me, like, I'd rather sit and look at accommodations and, that kind of thing than sit and watch Netflix.
Oh, 100%.
Do you know? But that's just something that we enjoy. And then what I would say is we've got better recently at dialing off occasionally and like having a night watching something or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of, a lot of people ask that, and actually we got asked a few times on our Instagram when we put out a shout out for questions for this podcast. It's like, oh, how do you do it? But I don't really know.
I think we just do it.
That's how we do it. That's, I don't know, because that to me is not wild. Like when we describe our daily routine, that's just our daily routine. It's how we choose to invest our time, and it's possible. But don't get me wrong, we could spend, like I always say, like we could spend so much more time doing stuff like this, do you know?
Yeah.
Good. How do we divide responsibilities between us as co-founders?
So I would say I deal with all customer inquiries, bookings, quotes, daily offers, etc. And I think you...
Not strictly true, just...
Well, you've only just started doing some of the offers.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
But
thanks for recognising that.
Well, I was getting on to it.
Good.
And Damien, being well Damien...
we all like to feel valued
being
in our work.
Being well Damien, what you are solely responsible for all the amazing social media content that's out there.
Yeah,
because
sucking up there.
You have truly found a new skill that you didn't know that you had.
Oh, well, that's the thing, though. I wouldn't even say it's a skill. It's a...
You're passionate about it, though, aren't you?
Yeah, I just think it's something new. Like, I didn't really know that I wasn't fulfilled in something.
Yeah.
So I think that what I've discovered recently is that I have a creative part of my brain or whatever that I wasn't really fulfilling, and when I fulfill it, it feels really good, and I get better sleep, and I feel happier and more motivated. And so I'm definitely not going to profess that I'm good at it, actually, because there are so many talented people out there like that. But it's something that I am enjoying the art of, and trying to become better with stuff like this, and even just with the basics, I would say. Yeah. But I would agree. You do. I actually wrote when I was preparing almost everything customer related.
But I do, because you only just started doing the offers.
Yeah, but sometimes I speak to our customers.
When they're your friends.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
I spoke to some of our customers just before we started recording this podcast.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. I don't just do socials as well.
Well, you do the newsletters and all the other bits and bobs.
Emails.
Yeah.
Campaigns.
Yeah.
Planning.
Well, we don't need a step-by-step thing of what you do.
It's just
high level.
Sorry. How do we manage our time and stay productive? I think we've already covered that, right?
Yeah.
But what I would say is, from a personal perspective, looking at how I was, I mean, I've changed a lot since we had kids for many different reasons, but I think that I am more comfortable than I've ever been with chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Still not like fully comfortable with it, but I feel as if I can lean into it now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think like maximizing awake time's a big thing. We don't really watch TV, or I don't really watch TV.
Nor do I.
Don't know what you're doing that 15 minutes for when I'm out there in the cold plunge. No, but I think we just maximize our time, right?
Yeah, I think it's about not procrastinating. It's easy to sit on your phone.
Procrastination, good plug.
Oh, okay.
That's my next podcast on being good. Okay, so how do you handle disagreements or conflicts between you?
So I think we're a lot better than that now than what we were before.
Right, what was it like before?
Well, I don't know. I think a lot of solo therapy has helped.
Right, okay, fine.
But yeah, I think the big thing is not taking things personally. When we get stressed, it's not personal to that person.
Yeah.
And because it isn't, we're a team, and sometimes teams fall out or have disagreements, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But I think the big thing for me is communication. Like, to be cliche, communication is key, but it is.
Yeah.
And I think we haven't been the best at communication.
Why nothing?
Because I know that I'm really bad at communication. However, I hold my hands up. I know that I'm bad at communication. However, I've self-development that I've been doing for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
I think I'm better at communication now.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big thing when it comes to dealing with conflicts. I think you just need to talk about it.
Yeah. Good. That felt like therapy, but no, I honestly, I don't really know. When it comes to disagreements and conflicts, I feel as if you probably take a lot of the weight of that.
I'm a very resilient person.
And the burden of that, because I think that's probably the part of me. Like, I do a lot of work on myself, and I try and, like, this on the Wisdom podcast, and like this in general is meant to be about, like, I'm not perfect. I'm not going to pretend that I'm perfect. I'm not going to pretend that, like, I went to university to learn it, or that I've got this, like, chiseled body or whatever, but I'm just trying to be better. And I think that one of the things that, when it comes to disagreements and conflicts, that I'm really fortunate for is you probably take on more shit than...
You're allowed to swear in a podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we do what we want. You probably take on more shit than... Yeah, I don't know, than I would, or I don't know. But yeah, I feel as if you give me a wide berth, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, good. What are your respective strengths, and how do they complement each other?
So I thought about this a lot.
Come on. Right. That's a concern, because I didn't.
Okay, so I think I'm a people person. I really love talking to people.
Are we doing this like versus? So you're a people person. I hate people.
Well, yeah, but I wasn't going to say you hate people. I just was going to say that So I really enjoy chatting to people,
Yes.
which people will know who know me.
Yeah.
And I think if you were to choose between spending time with people or sitting in silence, you would choose sitting in silence, right?
Unless it's with the kids, yeah.
Well, we're not, yeah. We know that, obviously.
Unless it's with the kids, 100% silence.
Yeah.
Or you, for like 25%.
So I think that works well.
That's necessary.
Yeah. And I think Damien is the most organised person I've ever met in my life. Everything's planned to the nth degree. Whereas I am the polar opposite. Whereas I'm just like, last minute, it's fine, whatever, as Damien calls it, chaos. But I think that works well because when Damien's plans don't go to plan, it stresses him out. However, I'm a very good problem solver.
You can step in.
I step in. And
That's
probably 9
fair.
times out of 10, I sort it, whilst you're away in the corner crying or not talking to anybody.
Yeah.
Communication is key. But yeah, I think that's like where our strengths kind of align.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I hadn't thought about it like that. And I also think, like, even when we look at, taking it back to being well, all the customer journey stuff.
You've planned that all out.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas and you'll execute it. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Which is fine. That's just the way it works, and it works well.
Yeah.
Being well.
Yeah. No, I think that's really fair. And I think that that sounds like I don't like speaking to people, but
no, but you're very good at speaking.
I think the way you've articulated it is really good. And this is always like the irony that people say about my career. Like, I've made a career where, my last role before this one was the global head of communication and change. And there's a degree of irony that, I'd rather just sit in a silent retreat on my own.
Yeah, so I couldn't do that.
No, exactly. But no, I think there's I think you put that well.
Thanks.
You evidently spent more time thinking about it than I did, and you executed fantastically. So I'm gonna defer my answer as your answer.
Well, I knew if I hadn't done any prep, you would have been like, "Oh, look at her again."
Chaos. Good, but then from a being well perspective, what's coming next?
Ooh. Well, this is new.
This is a new thing. Who knows whether it'll happen again?
No, big shout out to my mum for watching the kids whilst we do this.
Yes. Do you have any plans?
So I do plan on starting. Can I mention the running thing?
Yes.
Okay. So I do plan on, and I did plan.
This is the way this works. So I ask a question and then you say something, because if you don't mention anything, then it's just me sitting here
chatting.
Yeah.
So I do plan on starting a running community, which I had planned to start in the summer.
Loading.
Yeah. And then unfortunately I got injured just before I was doing a half marathon, which was very frustrating. So I'm now 8 weeks into post-injury recovery. So yeah, the plan is to start a running community in our local town, and this is primarily to bring women together who maybe are looking for a new hobby, they don't have many friends, they don't know very many people in the town, which is me, because we've only lived here.
Yeah, and I think, let's label that. Everything we want to do with this brand is something to do with our own journey.
Yeah.
So, running community, like that you just described it, Being Well Wisdom podcast. I'm obsessed with podcasts and have been for many years. I'm trying to bring all of the things that I've learned in bite-sized 15-minute chunks that can help other people. Yeah, I just it just, as you were saying that there, it was like, what's coming next? It's like, we're going to try and build on this more.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
When it comes to the other thing that I thought of is when it comes to the being well, we're going to do more video content, whether it's solo talking to the camera, which will be starting to happen in the next few weeks, which will be super interesting, but giving, advice, inspiration, talking about travel trends, trying to bring some good vibes in terms of a podcast like this. We are always on the lookout for offers, value, different types of trips that people can take. I think people can expect a lot more of that. And then I also think, like, yeah, you'll start to see us trying to build the brand around our own hobbies. Podcasts, I would say podcasting is one of my hobbies.
Yeah.
Running's one of yours. Yeah.
And we've got our own trip coming up soon.
2 trips.
2 trips.
Should we announce them or?
Doesn't really matter, does it?
Family off-grid motorhoming in Scotland.
Yep.
With 2 dogs and 2 kids, one of which is an absolute Wreck-It Ralph. So that should be interesting. We're going to go digital detox for that, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah. So no, like...
So get your inquiries in, guys.
Get your inquiries in, because for 3 days we are off the grid. I was actually thinking about how we're going to manage that with the business. We'll just need to...
It's okay, we don't need to talk about that in the podcast.
Yeah, but anyway, so... and then we've got the cruise coming up in December. Yeah. So, we'll talk about that more. I'm quite sure we'll talk about that more. Yeah. So let's come back to that. But now for the fun stuff. Organised fun. My favourite type of fun. Quick 5 questions.
Okay.
Who came up with the company name?
Damien. Well, it was a joint effort.
Right. Tell me more.
Well, we spent a whole day trying to come up with a name.
Yeah.
And then we had some. I just weren't feeling it. And then you just went away and came up. I don't know how you came up with it. Maybe you'll elaborate on that. And I was like, no, that's the one.
Yeah. No, good. I'm really glad that you gave me credit, because I can't remember.
Great.
So you could have said you, and I would have just had to go, all right, no worries.
Can we just pause podcast and then go back?
I couldn't remember who came up with the name.
It was you. It was you. I'll give you the credit.
Brilliant. Thank you. Describe your co-founder in 1 word.
Passionate.
Is that... I don't know.
Is that weird?
Yeah, it sounds a bit...
Driven.
Right. You're really struggling with the 1 word thing.
Yeah. Do I have to elaborate on that?
No, it's a quick fire.
Driven. So what about me? What would you say?
Here
we go. Not chaos.
No, not chaos. I was thinking like it's the 1 word thing, eh? It's meant to be quick fire. I came up with this as well. But I'm thinking about, maybe you can help me with the 1 word. I'm thinking about, like, is broad-shouldered 1 word? Is broad-shouldered?
You've been serious? You described me broad-shouldered.
No, but I mean like you.
Really, my shoulders are that broad.
No, I don't mean like from a physical appearance perspective. I mean like you carry a lot.
Carry a load.
Yeah, but carry a load is 3. I'm trying to get it in 1.
All right,
I'm going to say broad - shouldered. Now, what I mean is you juggle many things. Like when I think of how many holidays we've already sent people on, and I think of how we've managed this last period. Yeah. So, anyways, 1 word. First thing you do in the morning?
After I wake up?
Yeah.
Go in the cold plunge.
Samesies. 7 days. You 2 couldn't do it before. The only reason I said that is because I knew you'd have to do it after. Dream vacay destination.
Ooh. That's a hard one.
I wrote these and forgot. So you would think that I would have a really good answer, but I don't.
I think, so dream vacation without kids. I think without kids, I'd love to go to the Maldives.
Right.
Or Fiji.
Oh.
Yeah. I think I'd like to take the kids to like Australia.
Yeah.
Or Japan.
Right.
there's a lot of places I'd like to go, you know, like Disney.
Right, yeah. Now you're just like naming as many places as you can in the hope that I bite to one of them. So we're doing kids and without kids then?
I think that makes sense.
Right. Do you know anyone that would look after the kids we can go with?
No.
Maybe someone listening will volunteer. No, dream vacation destination with kids. You just hope I say Disney, like Disney. I don't know, because I think Lex is at that age now where it's just full Wreck-It Ralph. So
it's fine though, that you can embrace that.
yeah, but I think with kids then I'm with kids. I'm actually going to go with
the cruise.
Yeah, because I think we're trying the cruise around the Caribbean purposefully.
Yep.
Because we've got Wreck-It Ralph, and we think that a cruise might be a cool place for him to be and allow, Daisy to have a great time and for us to have a great time.
Yep.
So I think I'm just going to go with that. That's my dream vacation, live in the moment. And then when it comes to without kids, there are two things I really want to do. The Inca Trail and Everest Base Camp.
Yeah.
And you can do Everest Base Camp with kids.
No, I've seen that, yeah.
Yeah. But maybe not Wreck-It Ralph.
Not 1 year old, no.
Who's more likely to come up with crazy ideas?
I don't know. Probably you.
Are you being serious?
No, probably me.
What? Are you being serious?
Well, you.
What crazy ideas have you come up with recently?
No, definitely.
I'll give you it. if you can name one.
No, I can't. It's definitely you. I think I come up with stupid ideas, not crazy ideas.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
I don't think you come up with stupid. Your ideas aren't bad.
Yeah, I definitely think you're the idea person.
You facilitate it. You facilitate my ideas, I would say. So I can have an idea and then you can,
I've got to make it happen.
Aye.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. Good. Anything else you want to add?
Is that us finished? Or anything else I want to add to that question?
Both.
No, I do think you come up with some wild ideas though. But yeah. No, I don't think I have anything else to add.
I think
we complement each other in that sense.
I come up with wild ideas and we just execute them together.
Yeah.
Instead of questioning them or worrying about them or being scared to do it like this.
Yeah, I think I'm a very indecisive person.
This is wild. Doing this is wild. In our kitchen, this is wild.
Yeah.
But we're doing it. Because we've got nothing to lose. And why not? You're only here once.
You only live once, memento mori.
Good, then. Yeah. Maybe we'll do this again.
Enjoyed it.
Potentially. If this goes down well. To be fair, or even if it doesn't go down well.
I've enjoyed doing it.
I'll probably do those again. Next, that.
We should maybe point out though, we are having a glass of wine and we are all about being well, but everything that we do in life is about, and you're probably touching this on being well wisdom. Look, everything we do in life is in moderation.
Yeah.
So we don't sacrifice anything in life because it's too unhealthy or you shouldn't have that, you shouldn't do this. In our life, it's all about moderation.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we're trying to teach our kids as well.
You're allowed to do it, just don't rip the arse out of it.
Yeah. So this will be us, that'll be done. And then...
There is some more wine, I'm sorry. No, but you're right.
I just want to point that out because somebody might be like, they're all about being well, but then they're sitting
just
drinking a
getting
glass
smashed.
of wine.
Well, to be fair, I can't remember the last time you and I sat
and had a glass of wine
together.
Yeah.
So if not, we'll record another podcast just so that we can have another glass of wine together.
100%.
I've already started to think about if we did another podcast, what would you talk about?
I know you have.
Yeah.
I think you've got a bit of ADHD.
Yeah. So I think we would do a bit more behind the scenes stuff and a bit more quick fires. Like, what's your biggest pet peeve?
Of you?
Yeah, already thought about mine. So no, thanks so much for listening, watching, whatever it is. We've been bowled over by the support that we've had when we started this.
Yep.
I cannot believe that we are sending so many people on trips that we're really proud of. It's weird, especially when people are away and you're like, we sent
We
them.
did that, yeah.
Oh, the big thing that I always have is when we should have said this, we only send people to certain places as well. Like we wouldn't, we will only stand behind certain hotels and resorts, and there are certain
no
things.
Cheap and cheerful.
No, I mean, like
It's cheap, but
yeah,
there's
yeah,
not.
we wouldn't compromise quality.
Yeah.
So we follow a lot of places, and then we try and send people there, and because we know it's great. And then when you see something on social media, you're like, oh, we've got a couple there this week. It's bonkers to think we've sent that couple there. So no, I just wanted to say that we're super thankful. If you've liked this specifically, please subscribe to our Spotify or subscribe to our YouTube so that we know.
Like and subscribe.
Also rate.
Oh yeah.
5 star. I've got 10, maybe 12 5-stars on all the old Being Well wisdom. But so thanks so much. Let us know if you like it. Drop us a comment. Reach out to us. Obviously, if you've got anything you want us to look into, you know where to find us.
And if you guys do have anything that you want us to cover or want to know more about us, then
if you've got any questions that you would like us to cover, if you've got any quick fires that you would like us to cover, hit us up.
Yep.
Good?
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Much love. Thank you.
You say much love. My thing is big love.
Oh, big love. I'll say much love.
Big love. Okay, thanks everyone.
Bye.